I would like to start my lecture with the praise of Allah Almighty and His last beloved Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidul Mursaleen, amma baad, fa'uzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. اللہ پاک کے نام سے شروع جو وحدہ لا شریک ہے اور جس کے مثل کوئی شے نہیں، جو تمام جہانوں کا رب ہے، جو ہر ابتدا سے پہلے بھی تھا اور ہر انتہا کے بعد بھی ہوگا، جو خود ظاہری جسم سے پاک ہے مگر ہر جگہ موجود ہے، جو اپنی ذات میں پوشیدہ اور صفات میں ظاہر ہے اور ہر شے کا خالق ہے۔ اللہ پاک کے نام کے ساتھ ذکر اس کے محبوب محمد رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم کا، جن کا نام اللہ کے نام کے ساتھ ملتا ہے تو ہمارا کلمہ بنتا ہے، ایمان بنتا ہے، جن کے وجود کو تمام جہانوں کے لیے باعث رحمت قرار دیا گیا ہے، جن پر درود خود اللہ اور فرشتے بھیجتے ہیں اور ہم کو بھی درود بھیجنے کا حکم ہے، جن کی اطاعت کو اللہ کی اطاعت اور جن کی اتباع کو اللہ کی محبت حاصل کرنے کے لیے شرط اولین کہا گیا ہے، اور جن سے محبت کے بغیر ایمان مکمل نہیں ہوتا۔ صلی اللہ تعالیٰ علی خیر خلقہ و نور عرشہ حبیبنا شفیعنا سیدنا و مولانا محمد و علی آلہ و صحابہ اجمعین برحمتک یا ارحم الراحمین۔ I am Nisar Ali from Divisional Public School and I am going to deliver a lecture on acids, bases and salts, which is chapter 10 of class 10. Now let's have a glimpse on the topics of previous lecture number 7. I defined Lewis acid and Lewis base. I explained the examples of the Lewis acid base reactions. I discussed the species which can act as Lewis acid and Lewis bases. At the end, I gave the summary of all three concepts. And finally, we did the practice exercise of that lesson. Now let's see the topics of today's lecture. Today I will discuss the general properties of acids, uses of acids, general properties of bases, uses of bases, and finally I will do the practice exercise of today's lesson. Now let's discuss the general properties of acids. Acids have two types of properties, physical properties or chemical properties. Physical properties can be observed or measured without changing the composition of a matter. The physical properties of acids have been discussed in the beginning of this chapter. Now, what are chemical properties? Chemical properties are the characteristics or behaviors of a substance that may be observed when it undergoes a chemical change or reaction. Now let's discuss the chemical properties of acids. First one is the reaction with metals. Acids react explosively with the metals like sodium, potassium and calcium. Dilute acids react moderately with metals like magnesium, zinc, iron and aluminium to form their respective salts with the evolution of hydrogen gas. So metal reacts with the dilute acid to form salt and hydrogen gas. For example, zinc metal reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate salt and hydrogen gas. Similarly, aluminium metal reacts with the hydrochloric acid to form aluminium chloride salt and hydrogen gas. Let's watch the video of the reaction of dilute hydrochloric acid with some metals like tin, iron, magnesium, copper, zinc and calcium. Dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with tin, iron and copper metals slowly. Dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with zinc and magnesium metal moderately. Dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with calcium explosively to form hydrogen gas. So you can also observe the difference in the reactivities of metal with dilute hydrochloric acid. Number 2 is the reaction with carbonates and bicarbonates. Acids react with the carbonates and bicarbonates to form corresponding salts with the evolution of carbon dioxide gas. So carbonate reacts with the dilute acid to form salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, bicarbonate reacts with the dilute acid to give salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. For example, calcium carbonate reacts with the dilute hydrochloric acid to give calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, sodium bicarbonate reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid to give sodium sulfate, water and carbon dioxide gas.
In the double displacement reaction of a metal hydrogen carbonate with an acid, we start out with white sodium hydrogen carbonate and we'll add a solution of hydrochloric acid. The hydrogen carbonate and the hydrochloric acid react rapidly to form carbon dioxide and water and sodium chloride. A colorless solution of sodium chloride is left at the end of the reaction.
Now the reaction with bases. Acids react with the bases, oxides and hydroxides of metal to form salts and water. This process is called neutralization. So acid reacts with the base to form salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. For example, when sodium hydroxide, a base, reacts with the hydrochloric acid, it will give a salt sodium chloride and water. Similarly, copper oxide is a basic oxide. When it reacts with the sulfuric acid, it will give copper sulfate salt and water. Let's watch the video of this reaction. You can see the two equimolar solutions of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Now add a universal indicator into acid solution and solution turns pink. because this solution has pH less than 3. Now add universal indicator into base solution. The solution turns purple because the pH of solution is more than 11. Now add the acid solution into a base solution. The solution turns green, indicating a pH of 7, that is salt and water. Next is the reaction of sulfides and bisulfides. Acids reacts with the sulfides and bisulfides to form salts with the liberation of sulfur dioxide gas. Sulfite, when reacts with dilute acid, it will give salt, water and sulfur dioxide gas. Similarly, bisulfite, when reacts with the dilute acid, it will form salt, water and sulfur dioxide gas. For example, calcium sulfite, when reacts with the dilute hydrochloric acid, it will give calcium chloride salt, water and sulfur dioxide gas. Similarly, sodium bisulfite, when reacts with the hydrochloric acid, it will give sodium chloride salt, water and sulfur dioxide gas.
In the double displacement reaction of a metal sulfite with an acid, we'll start out with white sodium sulfite and add an aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid. The sulfite and the hydrochloric acid react to form sulfurous acid and sodium chloride. The sulfurous acid is not stable and decomposes to form water and sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide escapes from the solution. We can test for the formation of sulfur dioxide by bringing in a moist piece of blue litmus paper. The sulfur dioxide dissolves in the water to form sulfurous acid, which turns the blue litmus paper red.
Next is the reaction with sulfides. Acids reacts with the metal sulfides to liberate hydrogen sulfide gas. So when a metal sulfide reacts with the dilute acid, it will give salt and hydrogen sulfide gas. For example, iron sulfide, when reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid, it will give iron sulfate salt and hydrogen sulfide gas. Let's watch a video of this reaction.
Hydrogen sulfide is most often known for smelling like rotten eggs. However, it does have some uses in chemistry, so it can be worthwhile to make it. But of course, you can always just make it for its dirty, rotten egg smell. 10 grams of iron sulfide were added to a small 3-necked round bottom flask. One of the necks is fitted with an adapter and the other neck is stoppered. To an addition funnel, 50 milliliters of 15% hydrochloric acid is added. The addition funnel is then stoppered and clamped. The center neck is fitted with an adapter and attached to the addition funnel. A hose is then set up with one end leading into a graduated cylinder. The graduated cylinder is then filled up with some saturated copper sulfate solution. The addition funnel is opened and the HCl is allowed to drip slowly onto the iron sulfide. This will produce the hydrogen sulfide gas according to the equation above. At first, the bubbles that come out are not hydrogen sulfide, but the air that was in the hose. When the hydrogen sulfide comes into contact with the saturated copper sulfate solution, it forms copper sulfide, which immediately precipitates. I chose to bubble the hydrogen sulfide through the copper sulfate solution for its visual effect, but I also didn't want to put so much hydrogen sulfide into the environment. A long time ago, hydrogen sulfide was actually used in the lab to determine the concentration of metal and nonmetal ions in solution. The mass of the precipitate can be determined, and the original concentration of the ion solution can be calculated from this. And I also have just a couple of things to say about hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide is corrosive, flammable, and explosive. It has a toxicity that is comparable to that of hydrogen cyanide or carbon monoxide gas. At first, it has a pungent smell, but people quickly lose the ability to smell it. This makes it a very dangerous gas, as a lot of people think that just because the smell goes away that it is no longer present. If you wish to carry out the generation of hydrogen sulfide, you must do it outside or in a well-ventilated area.
Now let's discuss the uses of acids. First one is sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is used to manufacture fertilizers like ammonium sulfate, calcium superphosphate. It is also used in the manufacturing of explosives. Sulfuric acid is also used in the manufacturing of paints. Sulfuric acid is also used in the manufacturing of dyes, drugs, and sulfuric acid is also used as a electrolyte in the lead storage batteries. Next one is nitric acid. Nitric acid is used in the manufacturing of fertilizers like ammonium nitrate, explosives, paints, and drugs. Nitric acid is also used for etching designs on copper plates. Now the use of hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is used for cleaning of metals, tanning, and in printing industries. Benzoic acid is used for food preservation. Acetic acid. Acetic acid is used for flavoring food and food preservation. It is also used to cure the sting of wasps. Now let us discuss the general properties of the bases. General properties of bases are of two types: physical properties and chemical properties. The physical properties of bases have been described in the beginning of this chapter. Now the chemical properties of bases. First one is the reaction with acids. As we have discussed earlier, when acid reacts with the base, salt and water is formed, and this reaction is called neutralization reaction. For example, potassium hydroxide, when reacts with the sulfuric acid, it will give potassium sulfate, a salt, and water. Next is the reaction with ammonium salts. Bases react with the ammonium salts to liberate ammonia gas. For example, ammonium chloride reacts with the sodium hydroxide to form sodium chloride salt, water, and ammonia gas. Similarly, ammonium sulfate reacts with the calcium hydroxide to form calcium sulfate, water, and ammonia gas. Let's watch the video of this reaction. Now let's see the reaction of sodium hydroxide with the ammonium salts. You can see a solution of sodium hydroxide in glass jar. Now ammonium chloride is added into a solution. Ammonia gas is produced and it is tested with the moist red litmus paper, which turns to blue, indicating ammonia gas is present because ammonia is a basic in nature. Next is very important reaction, and that is precipitation of hydroxides. First of all, what is meant by word precipitate? A precipitate is an insoluble salt which is formed during a chemical reaction. Bases precipitate insoluble hydroxides when added to solution of salts of heavy metals such as copper, iron, zinc, lead and calcium. For example, when copper sulfate solution is added to sodium hydroxide solution, blue precipitate of copper hydroxides are formed. When zinc chloride solution is added to sodium hydroxide solution, white precipitate of zinc hydroxides are formed. When ferric chloride solution is added to sodium hydroxide solution, brown precipitate of ferric hydroxides are formed. Now similarly, when the lead nitrate solution is added to the sodium hydroxide solution, white precipitate of lead hydroxides are formed. When calcium chloride solution is added to sodium hydroxide solution, white precipitate of calcium hydroxides are formed. When ferrous sulfate solution is added to the sodium hydroxide solution, a dirty green precipitate of ferrous hydroxides are formed. Let's watch the video of these reactions. Let's see the precipitation reaction of copper sulfate with sodium hydroxide. Let's watch the video of the reaction of sodium hydroxide with aqueous ferrous sulfate and aqueous ferric chloride. Now let's watch the video of the reaction of lead nitrate with sodium hydroxide. You can see that when the lead nitrate reacts with the sodium hydroxide solution, white precipitates are formed. Now let's discuss the uses of bases. First one is sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is used for the manufacturing of soap. As you can see in the equation that when sodium hydroxide reacts with the oil or fat, it will give soap and glycerol. Next is calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is used for manufacturing of bleaching powder, softening of hard water, and neutralizing acidic soil and lakes due to acid rain. Potassium hydroxide is used in alkaline batteries. Now the magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is used as a base to neutralize acidity in the stomach. It is also used for the treatment of bees' sting. Aluminium hydroxide is used as a foaming agent in fire extinguishers. Ammonium hydroxide is used to remove grease stains from cloths. Let's do a practice exercise of today's lesson. First part is multiple choice questions. Question number 1. When acids reacts with carbonates and bicarbonates, which gas evolves out? Option A, hydrogen gas. Option B, carbon dioxide gas. Option C, ammonia gas. Option D, hydrogen sulfide gas. And the correct answer is option B, carbon dioxide gas. Question number 2. Which gas is liberated when alkalis reacts with ammonium salts? Option A, hydrogen gas. Option B, carbon dioxide gas. Option C, ammonia gas. Option D, hydrogen sulfide gas. And the correct answer is option C, ammonia gas. Question number 3. Which alkali is used in alkaline battery? Option A, sodium hydroxide. Option B, potassium hydroxide. Option C, calcium hydroxide. Option D, ammonium hydroxide. And the correct answer is option B, potassium hydroxide. Question number 4. Which acid is used in lead storage batteries? Option A, HCl. Option B, HNO3. Option C, CH3COH. Option D, H2SO4. And the correct answer is option D, H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Question number 5. It is used to treat bees' sting. Option A, magnesium hydroxide. Option B, calcium hydroxide. Option C, sodium hydroxide. Option D, potassium hydroxide. And the correct answer is option A, magnesium hydroxide. Question number 6. The color of precipitates of ferrous hydroxide is option A, brown. Option B, white. Option C, blue. Option D, dirty green. And the correct answer is option D, dirty green. Next part is the short questions. Question number 1. How do acids react with metals? Question number 2. How do acids react with carbonates and bicarbonates? Question number 3. Give the uses of sulfuric acid. Question number 4. Give 4 uses of nitric acid. Question number 5. What are the uses of magnesium hydroxide? Question number 6. Give a reaction between sodium hydroxide and lead nitrate. Question number 7. Which type of salts produced sulfur dioxide gas on reacting with acids? Question number 8. Give the colors of precipitates formed by the reaction of aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide with copper, zinc and ferric salts. Next part is detailed questions. Question number 1. Explain the chemical properties of acids. Question number 2. Describe the chemical properties of bases. Question number 3. Write down the uses of bases. Question number 4. Give the uses of acids. I hope you can answer these questions quite easily.